everyone, I'm Jay.
And I'm Sean.
And we watched a movie.
I'm sure we did.
We watched so many. It's an avalanche of movies right now. But today we're going to talk about one in particular, Lucky You. It is actually part of a quad of horror films that were released exclusively to Amazon Prime under the sort of umbrella of Welcome to the Blumhouse. So Jason Blum, who is a horror writer, director, producer extraordinaire, has lent his name to this quad. Now, does that mean that they are all of a certain quality?
No. I mean, his movies are not all of a certain quality across the board.
Yes, that's right. But he is known for, well, he made his name doing low-budget, high-quality stuff. And his name means a lot in the horror industry. And so he lent it to these 4 films that really have nothing to do with each other whatsoever. They were made at different times. Some of them may have been sitting on a shelf for some time, but it's Halloween, Amazon has some cash, and this got snapped right up. So the one we're talking about today is called The Lie. So The Lie, again, on Amazon Prime, it's part of the Welcome to the Blumhouse series. It's one that actually had a big TIFF premiere a couple of years ago, and then I guess just hasn't been released. I didn't see it at TIFF 2 years ago. I saw it at TIFF 5 years ago, back when it was called We Monsters, and it starred a bunch of German people. This is an American remake. Anytime an American sees any kind of good film, they're like, why don't we make it worse? And they did. But I have to say, I'm still going to recommend that people check out The Lie. Number one, it's not so much a horror, I think, as a thriller. Number two, it's one of those exercises in morals, ethics, the whole shebang. It's just got such a great central question that it's sort of irresistible. And the question is for all of you parents out there. What wouldn't you do to protect your child? So the parents in this case, Jay and Rebecca, are played by Peter Sarsgaard and Mireille Enos. Now I'm going to try so hard to say Peter Sarsgaard with a straight face.
You struggle.
But I do struggle, and it was like 10 years ago hosting SNL, and they had a pirate sketch where he was like the speaker at a pirate conference, and they always introduced him as Peter Sarsgaard. And so I say that I can't not say it in my head every time. That's just how I pronounce his name. But
He'd probably appreciate that.
This video could really run away on us if we're not careful. So I'm gonna try my best, and Sean, you give me a flick or something if I slip up.
Okay.
So Jay and Rebecca are divorced acrimoniously. It's not really great between them. It's a little frosty. They have a teenage daughter, though, Kayla. So when you have kids, you're never really going to lose each other. You're going to have to find some way to coexist. But I would say things are still frosty, and they seemed a little bit frostier this morning because when Rebecca was dropping Kayla off at Jay's house, he had a girlfriend who appears to be living there. So there's some moving on that has not been discussed and broached as a whole family, and it led to a little bit of tension. But anyways, now Rebecca's gone to work. Jay is driving his daughter Kayla, who is played by the lovely Joey King, driving her to some camp. Something where she's gonna stay, and she's been avoiding this, and so doesn't really want to go, but he's driving her there. That's his big job, and he can't let the ex-wife down because then everything she believes about him will be true. And on their way there, his daughter, who's in the backseat, he's chauffeuring her and playing his embarrassing dad music, which apparently is also his band's music. Talk about super embarrassing. And she makes him pull over because she spotted her friend at a bus stop, and they're kind of out in the middle of the nowhere, so this is like a real bus stop. So the friend fought with her father that morning, and so the dad said, "You're catching the bus." So they give her a lift. But further down this quite desolate road, they're pulling over again because now the friend has to pee. Oh boy. So the two girls get out of the car, they walk into the woods away from the road, and the creepy dad, who was low-key flirting with the friend, I think. And of course, daughter Kayla was not super happy about this, but what can you do when your dad's a sleaze? So they walk into the woods to have a little pee and a chat, but eventually Jay is like, "Hey, let's get this caravan back on the road." But they aren't returned, so he heads out towards them and he hears a scream, never a good sign. And once he finds his daughter, she is sitting on top of like the ledge of a bridge, and she's hyperventilating, and she's alone.
Mysterious.
It's not mysterious. The friend fell in.
Oh.
So dad is panicked, of course. He's running down the side of the hill. He's jumping into the fast-moving water. It's winter. It's freezing. Kayla sees the friend's smashed telephone over on the bank of the water and picks it up and pockets it. But anyways, the dad cannot find her anywhere. So he is running back to the car to find a phone to dial 911, and his daughter is in pursuit, yelling after him, "Dad, Dad, Dad." And she says, "No, you can't call. I pushed her." So she pushed her friend over. And now we can't find the friend. So the dad is still sort of in favor of calling the cops, and yet clearly there is something already going on in his mind, because when a truck is passing them on the road, he grabs his daughter and they duck. Why do you hide when you've got something to hide? So this is the basic premise of the movie. If your son or daughter made a mistake / committed a crime, are you going to hide it with them? Because they go back to the city, they tell the mom, Rebecca, so now all three of them are in on this. And things quickly spiral out of control, which lies always do.
Yep.
It's never just one lie, it's another and another. And these aren't even well thought out, well planned lies. These are ones they're telling on the fly in the thick of a very emotional, crazy event. Oh boy, stuff is unraveling. And of course they're like throwing suspicion at other people so that it doesn't come back on them. Lots of stuff is being dragged out. Like the two friends had been fighting over a boy earlier in the week. Like there's lots of stuff going on. And the heat is on, and the disappeared / murdered girl's father is really upset because he's sure that his daughter's just run away from home and that Kayla must be hiding something. So he is nosing around the house a whole heck of a lot. Oh gosh, it's never good to be hiding something this big when social services, a dead girl's father, the cops, like everyone is sniffing around. And Kayla is 15. She is the kind of girl who gets so mad at teasing that she, shoves her friend over a bridge. So she's not taking it well. She's not super stable. And so her parents don't even know if they can rely on her to keep the secret anymore. Which now that they're in on it, means all three have committed the crime, or a crime.
Yeah.
Oh,
Me and the
boy.
parents are really the ones with the problem.
Mm-hmm. Why do you say that?
Well, kids get away with a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they're worried that because she's 15 and whatever. I think the mom is a lawyer who used to work with, whatever the prosecutor, and feels like he is a very, tough on whatever.
Yeah.
So they don't really feel comfortable letting their daughter go through the justice system.
Which is fair, but it only gets worse.
Okay.
Because now, in addition to covering, or to the initial crime, you've got a cover-up involving both parents who are adults. At least the kids got a shot of leniency. And,
if she rats her parents out?
Well, not in this case. Not like, at that point, it's already gone too far. But if a 15-year-old has a moment of passion, if anyone has a moment of passion, I mean, you can get off without too much. Of course,
you sure
it's not guaranteed. You already know that.
Set it on video, guys.
Yeah.
I'm allowed.
Yeah. If it comes to that, you're allowed.
Oh, I'll be passionate. Don't worry.
You are passionate.
Every moment I live in is super passionate.
That's
just
true.
in case.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, we scarcely cross bridges, you and I. So
yeah, it's
you
true.
Better try and keep it that way. So, I mean, here's the thing, though. It's not really about the legal aspects. It really is about what would you do for your kid.
Yeah.
And I don't think either of these parents would have said that this is how they would have acted. I think, parents are like, the truth is important and let's deal with the consequences together. But in the heat of this moment, that's not how they go. Their reaction is very different.
And I think that is, there's a lot of truth to that. And certainly any parent is going to have these thoughts. Are they going to act on them? Well, that is whether the emotional side or the rational side wins out. Because I think rationally there's a clear right thing to do here. And once you start down the wrong path, you're stuck there. You can't walk back from that ledge.
Yeah. So that's the real horror in all of this. The thriller is, will they get caught? And what other shenanigans are they getting into in the process of hiding all of this? But the horror is really one of morals and ethics, and just, I mean, because I think there's a part of all of us, if you care about someone, you can maybe see yourself doing the same. Like, trying to help somebody out of a really tricky situation. So everybody can probably imagine a scenario in which they might think about helping somebody conceal a crime. So we have that dread, and then just watching the way it unravels for these people. I mean, it's never anything that feels over the top. It's really normal stuff, and it gets away so quickly. It's amazing, the snowball, how it picks up momentum. Gosh, it is really a horrible feeling, even though we're watching other people. And we're critical of their choices, because when you're sitting on the couch, you can afford to be. But my goodness, it really is. It really does make you question how you would meet such a scenario. And I hope you never have to. I hope nobody does. But clearly these things do happen all of the time. And, lots of kids do silly things, less serious things than this. This is a young girl's life that was taken. So I think that this is a pit of your stomach, ball of dread kind of movie, a horror that is maybe a little too realistic for a lot of people. So that's why I think it's kind of a fun movie to watch, because it's a nice little litmus test. Let's see if you pass it. A lot of people probably wouldn't.
Yeah. Maybe there are some lessons that can be learned here.
Yeah, take some notes. It would be handy to even have half a plan formulated before you're in the situation, because once you're in it, these people were not making great decisions on the fly.
Oh, yeah.
They are not great under pressure.
Well, very few people are.
I am.
Yes, you're very few people, though.
I am very few people. I'm really mostly just the one. Sometimes 1.5. It's true. So this is one movie out of 4 in the Welcome to the Blumhouse series. Let us know if you've seen any and if you want any others reviewed, because some of them are good. Actually, I would say none of them have been bad, and I've watched 3 out of 4 so far.
That's a pretty good
yeah.
endorsement for Amazon Prime, a random selection of 4 movies.
Yeah, I guess there still is some cachet to the Blum name. So good for you, Jason. Keep it up. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.
Bye.